Hello, welcome back. So today, this morning I'm finishing the, we were on the assembly workbench, right? And we were doing the feature where we want, clicking on an object, and that this makes a dragger appear. And okay. And so what were we doing exactly? Get object from yeah. Let's try to get back to exactly where we were and move. Let's clean that up a little bit. So yes, we were setting the visibility of the dragger and setting the placement, basically. And I think we made some modifications last. Let us see. We'll build and test again to see if the bugs were already solved. I think they are not, but need move dragger and move dragger. Okay. So then we will have to connect the signals. We will have to connect the signals to get, the movement of the when you move the dragger, that it moves also the object that is selected. So let's see. Alright, that's working. If I just select the face, nothing. If I select both, okay. If I select this, okay, so now it's clearing the selection correctly. Yeah, we had a problem, like it was considering all the objects were selected. Okay, well, so let's see. If I select this, for example, and this at the same time, I get the center, and then the idea is that we can move both at the same time. Wow! Oh yeah, there's this bug as well. It seems that okay, yeah, I know what's happening. You click here, and then I click on the dragger, and I pull it, and so the solver thinks we are in the normal drag mode. So it is initializing the movement. Okay. And so we don't want that. We don't want that to happen, right? So when is it initializing exactly? Let's see. I click here, I move. The movement is not initialized yet. And when I release, it's when I release that, well, this is weird. It is when I release. Usually when you release the movement, it should rather stop, You click, then you can drag, and when you release, it clears. So let's see. Mouse move. So it is initializing the movement if can start dragging is true. So it means that when I release the mouse, can start dragging becomes true. But why is that so? Let's see. Can start dragging equals false. Pressed. So it should become true only when it's pressed, and so it should start. Well, that's interesting. Why is it becoming true? Because I think it's the only place where it's becoming true. Yeah. Well, I could be doing something else, I guess. False, 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 true, false. Okay. So it appears that this is getting triggered somehow. Can start dragging equals true. But it's supposed to be when it is pressed, so I would have guessed that I click and hold and then it starts moving. That would make sense because can't start dragging is like getting, and then I release and it should stop moving, and instead it's starting moving now. Well, anyway, it's not very important. We can just use a flag that says that we have like the dragger move, the dragger that is visible. Oh, I can just use the dragger visibility to enable can start dragging, because yeah, it's the only place. Well, that's interesting. How is it getting there? So we can just use the visibility function of let's see, I must have like a function set get dragger visibility, right? We're going to use that and we're just going to check that the dragger is not, no! I hit Control B instead of Control V, and so it tried to build, of course. Okay, so we're going to add and the dragger is not visible. If the dragger is visible, then can start dragging does not become true. So that should fix. Oh, and I have to close that. If you don't close FreeCAD while it is building, then it's going to fail. It's not going to build. So we have to close FreeCAD first. And then we can start building. Come on, I'm going to put it here because it's annoying to access. Okay, so this should take care of this problem, right? So now the question is that we have to connect the signal that the dragger has moved. So first let's check that the bug that we had is gone. We click, nothing happens, that's great. And if I try to click and drag, nothing happens either, so that's good. And then, okay, so we just have to connect the signal to the dragger, and that will be it, I guess. Yeah, that's good. And so we are almost done with this feature, at least. And then you don't have to listen to me anymore. Wouldn't that be great? So I go back to create view because this is using the dragger, so we can find some information here. And let's see. So what I'm doing here is that at somewhere here I'm getting the dragger, and I'm in set dragger, I think. In set dragger, no, in enable dragger maybe. Oh, come on. So somewhere I'm supposed to be getting the dragger object, and then let's see, view object dragger placement equals. So here I'm not getting the dragger object. Oh, I know. Dragger moved is the function that is called by what I want, so we're just going to look for that. There you go. So this is what I'm looking for. So it is in the initialization. We are creating a callback. You see, we are adding a dragger callback. And so this is, oh wait, this is actually a view function. It's a function from the view. Well, that's interesting. And we are passing as an argument the ASM dragger. Let me think. So, well, that doesn't help. So it's sad because before I had like already written that stuff in here in view provider assembly, but then I didn't need it anymore, and so I scrapped it. And now I need it again. I could have just left it commented out, you know, but no, I had to clean the code and remove it, and now I need it again, and so I have to do it again now. That's really awesome. Okay, so let's close that to make things cleaner. Okay, so what we want, let me think. Oh, it's annoying. Set dragger. Oh yeah, it was here, the commented code, and it's not going to be in the Git history because I squashed. That's awesome. You're not going to need it. Of course, no. Why would you need that? You can clean it. Oh, there you go. So we are going to search for this. This is a dragger object. It's so it's an object that is here, but we don't want that. So we are going to look for examples where this is used. So it's going to be in task sys dragger or view provider, or maybe let's try our luck here. Okay. Wait. Here. This is it. This is it. Okay. Add finish callback, and then there's also another function which is something like add move callback, something like this. Well, let's take that. And okay, so when we start the move init move dragger, we set the placement, okay, and then we want to add a finish callback. Well, not really. I want move callback. So let's have a look. I am still sick. That's so annoying. So here I have to be careful, right? Because actually the view provider, they all have a dragger object for the transform tool, and so this is the dragger. So, but it's not the dragger that I created for assembly. So we want to change that. Or we are going to have an illegal storage access and be like, oh, what's happening? Remove. So we're going to need that as well. Add motion callback. That's what we want. And so we put a function on add motion callback. And we can even put add remove start callback. So what we can do is that on start we can open the transaction, and on finish we can cancel. We can close transaction. And this way you can cancel the movement. But if we do that, then if we are, for example, in if we are using a tool, then we are going to, well, never mind. Let's start with this, right? And we are going to call that drag motion callback. And so this function does not exist. Is this function? Let's have a look at how it's defined. Void data. So what is void data? And why this here? View provider. Okay, well, let's take that anyway. Let's put that here. Good. Now let's have a look at what is inside the H file for this one. We have like a private member. Okay, so data and dragger. Well, that's funny because here it's like the function first and then. Oh yes, but it's just add motion. So yeah, that's not really funny. That's just normal. And it's a static function. Oh, interesting. It's a static function. Get center of bounding box. So what am I doing here? We want to keep maybe that next to the move dragger stuff, dragger control. Maybe we're just going to put everything in the same place, right? Like this. Yeah, whatever. Not so important now. Add motion callback. Well, maybe we want to call that something different because view provider assembly derives from view provider dragger. So if I use this name here in the future, I may be tempted to use the same name here, drag finish callback. And so if we use the same name, then it's going to blow up. So is it going to blow up actually? I don't know if we can use a function with the same name. If you don't specify that it is an override, then maybe it just works, right? But let's call that dragger motion callback. It's not very important, and then we are sure that we are not going to have problem, right? Well, sure, I wouldn't say sure, but we are probably not going to have a problem. So view provider assembly, dragger motion callback, blah blah blah. Data dragger. So why is it static? Why is it static? Oh, it probably has to be static. Look at that. You can still get the view provider here by making like this. So I guess it has to be static, and actually you can access the view provider with this. And so I don't know why it's static, but if it's like this, then it probably has to be like this, because else they wouldn't make something weird like that. View provider, yeah. So anyway, this is called when manipulator. No, this is not called dragger. Do we want to have that? UI, let's put that. I don't even know if we need the dragger actually. Update placement from dragger. So we don't want that, we don't want that. Commit command, yeah. So add motion callback. So what happens is that so when we click on the part, so I don't have the, well, let me check if you're still there. Yeah, you are, great. So when you click on the part, the dragger appears right at the center of the bounding box. And so when you click on the drag, we can get the new placement, right? The new placement of the so we use just get dragger placement, and we get the new position. So we get base placement, new placement equals get dragger placement. So this is the new placement, and then and because we're in a static function, we're going to do something like this. Yeah, so that's fine. So we have the new placement, and then we also have like the initial placement of the dragger, because we are going to save it in the init move dragger, of course. So we go to view provider assembly here, and we are going to add a new variable that's going to be a placement, and we're going to call that GCS placement. Oh, actually I'm using something like that already. Well, maybe well, let's not use the same one anyway. So dragger init placement dragger edit placement. Perfect. And so we are going to store the initial placement. Also, this is actually this placement. Where is PLC? This is the initial placement basically. Yeah, that's the initial dragger placement. So now we have like the initial placement of the dragger, and we have the new placement of the dragger. Every time it is moved, we have like the new placement of the dragger. So we can just calculate the placement that is required to move from the initial position to the new position. So we are going to call that move PLC, and this is equal to, oh wait, I already have done that actually. Well, that's exactly what I've done here. So I'm doing it again, but actually it's not really necessary. Maybe I could even take this and just remove the Python function and access the C++ functions. Yeah, that probably would make sense, but so this is the code that we want. So move placement equals that, dragger placement, so this is the new dragger placement, and let's take that, and you see current step placement equals, oh yeah, because here we are doing something different. So anyway, we're just taking that and copying that. Let's call it the same, let's use the same names. Just so move placement equals dragger placement multiplied by the initial placement dot inverse. Is it the same syntax? No, it's not. A non-static member. All right. So it's because we are a static function. Okay, so move placement, that's fine. Equals inverse. So that's, we have the move placement. We don't need the radial mode like this. And so for object, let us see. First I'm going to comment that out because it's making... So we have basically, you see, for object placement equals move placement dot initial placement. So this is fine. And oh, by luck, we already have the initial placement of the objects, which are stored inside. Let's see. I think it's the ducts to move. Oh yeah, you see, we already have the initial placement inside duct to move. Like we have the object and the initial placement. So that's great. So let's see what we can do. So for auto pair in duct to move, so that's not going to tell us that we are not blah 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 non-static function. Anyway, so for each pair in this thing here, we have like the object pair first. Do I just do like this, and then, oh no, because, so you see here in Python you just put the name of the property like this, and in C++ that doesn't work, right? That's annoyingly doesn't work. It would be great. App document object has no member placement. Or maybe actually if it was like a view provide. I wonder if, let's try something. Let's try to make ISM object equals to static. I don't know what's the difference actually. Oh, never mind. Let's make a static cast. Static cast of pair first. Pair dot first, and we cast that to assembly object, of course, pointer. And now that we have that, can we do something like this? Oh my god, we can do that. Property placement. So actually you can. Also, that's the property. That's just the property. Yeah, so that's not ideal, but get placement. But that's not a problem because we have this great utils function that will save the day for us. So we are just going to do yeah, like oh yeah, we have to, oh wait, so actually we just want to set right the placement, and so this is to get the placement. So this is not what we want. We want to access, so we have to do something like this. Yeah. So let's go back in here, and all of that's going to the bin. Let's scrap that. So get property by name, and you put the name of the property, and that will access. So yes, in FreeCAD, you know, the document object, they have properties. Basically, the properties, it's the thing that appears. Let me here. See, these are properties, and so all these solids and app part and so on, they all have a placement property, and so this placement property is basically where the object is, and so you see. To modify a property, you have to first get the property object, and so to get the property object, you have this function called get property by name, and you put the name of the property, and that will return a property object, and then you cast it to the type that you want. So here I cast it to a property placement because this returns just a app property. You see here, app property. So basically you have to cast it to a property placement, and so now we have the property placement. You have to check that it exists because it could not exist, and if it exists, then you can access it and set the value and change the value and so on. So yeah, so anyway, so now we want to put that here. Yeah, move placement, and so not this. Move placement multiplied by the initial placement, which is the per second. And I think that's it. I think now it should work, right? And the last thing, oh yeah, we have to remove the callback when we are done. When we are done, we remove the motion callback. Yeah, we can even remove it before at the first thing we do. And so if I build now, I think that's going to work, and if it does, then we are done with this feature today, and I will tell you goodbye. Let's see, until the next feature, because I'm sure you're going to want to see more of these great videos, right? If you have some suggestion about like how I could make that more informative or more fun or whatever, you can drop in a comment and let me know. I mean, I'm doing that to, yeah, my goal is to help people getting to know the source code and how to make a feature or fix a bug and so on. So if that's not helpful, then I probably better stop, right? So let's see, I double click on this illegal storage. So that's great. So you see it's working perfectly every time, and then you move, oh, it's not moving. But so illegal storage access. So that means it's like seg fault. It's a seg fault. So which means it's not working, obviously. Huh? So there could be a lot of reason for that. There could be a lot of reasons. So first, this we are not using it, so I'm going to remove that. Sudo this, sudo that. Let me think, what is happening? Why is it not happy? Tell me why you're not happy. Let's make this name shorter because else this line is too long. I think it's already too long. I don't like it when it's too long because then black formatting or Clang or I don't remember, it's going to automatically change it to something very nice like this, you know? A very nice syntax. So I would prefer that it just keeps a long line. It's like, but whatever. So if prop placement set value, move placement multiplied by this. What is wrong? What is wrong? Let me think about it. What is wrong? So we're just going to put some add motion callback. Why is it not working? If I remove this, wait, we are going to put a bunch of so in this situation, a good programmer would build in debug mode, yes. In debug mode to see what is happening. But building FreeCAD in debug appears to be very annoying, at least for me. I tried it like many times and let's just put a few comments like this in here to see if we can already spot where it's coming from. That's not the best, you know, but it's better than nothing. Okay, let's see what happens. Yes, so building FreeCAD in debug is painful, so for several reasons. So the first one is that you cannot really use FreeCAD in debug all the time because it is laggy when it's in debug mode. And so if you want to test your feature and so on and you're in debug, it can be very painful. So you want to build in release most of the time. And the thing is that if you change to debug and you build, then it has to rebuild everything. Well, maybe not everything, but everything that changed since you last built in debug. So it may take 1 hour. And so it's the first annoying thing about debug. And then let us try first, see what happens. Illegal storage access even before. Oh, it's in selection. H1, H2. And so it's actually happening before. So so the build time is annoying first, and then on well, let's leave these comments for now. We may need them later. So something is happening before that. But wait a moment, it was working before. What did I change that has anything to do with selection? Or maybe you're looking at that and you know exactly what I changed in selection. What is it? Init move dragger. Oh, right. I know exactly what is wrong. Is that on clear selection I'm calling end move dragger, and end move dragger is doing this remove motion callback, but it has not been added because we've never been there before. So we want to do end move dragger only if what? Only if we can use the visibility of the dragger, for example, because when the dragger is visible, then okay, so if get dragger visibility, no, that's Python, then do some stuff, right, like this. If it is not visible, then do nothing. Let's see if that works. I hope it will. So yes, and also for debug mode, the issue is that currently one of the libraries that is included in the libpack of FreeCAD is not available as debug, and so you cannot build as debug. So you have to, there's some workaround to add the library, and but then in the end it still doesn't work because there are two libraries that are failing, and one of them you can fix it but not the other one. So in the end you're like, okay, you can build most of FreeCAD but not the material workbench, and then because the material workbench does not work, then Visual Studio does not let you use like this button because it tells you it's not building, right? And so then you have to go to debug and then go to, what was it? I think you can actually do it, but yeah, you have to do attach to process, and you can attach the debugger to FreeCAD once it's launched. But well, anyway, so it's very annoying. And you see, I think we already fixed the bug that we had, like the illegal storage. See, no illegal storage access anymore. So if I had tried to open in debug, it would have taken me 3 hours. And just putting a few comments here and there and trying to think about what was wrong, I just found the issue very quickly. So let us see, are you ready? I click and drag, and oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? And it's rotating and everything, and that's awesome. And that's awesome. Well, I think that's about it for this feature, right? It's all we... wait. No, that's okay. Okay. So it's still working. If you want to transform something, double click, transform, and that's nice. And so say you are using the insert tool, you insert this guy, or you even already have the dragger, because let's see. Ow! Well, we can maybe fix that, right? Let's see. You can move it, you can turn it around. So that's not too bad, but the thing is that you see, if I click on the object, then I already have the dragger. Which is nice, which is very nice. But then when I bring the mouse over, because it will start like a dragging mode also, because the insert tool is working like that when you are going in the view. It is following the mouse. And so yeah, so obviously it is buggy like this, right? So we have to decide if we cancel the automatic placement, because the idea with this you know, following the mouse was that you click it and then you can position it easily here, and this you can put it here, and maybe you just click and you want to add 2 of them, 3 of them, you just click and they appear, and maybe this one you can put it here. So the idea was that it's very easy to change, you know, the placement of what you select. But maybe that's overkill, because you can already move things like this by clicking on them. So I think I'm going to kill this feature and just leave the dragger appears like this. And click, and then you click another dragger, and then let's remove that because it's kind of overloaded now. But so yeah, you click, you have the dragger, you want to turn it around, you click, and that's going to be better. You click and you're like, okay, I turn it, yeah, that's better. So what I want is to kill the feature that when you go on the view, the part starts moving, which is a shame because it was very, very difficult. Well, not very, very difficult, but it was a lot of work to set up this behavior. But you know, in development, sometimes you have to scrap things. So let's do this for now. Yeah, you thought the video was done, huh? I know you thought so. Let me check you're still there. Yeah, 40 minutes. I think we can do it in 10 minutes, right? Why is it not clearing? So we are going to remove, so going to insert, okay, let's do it. First, we are going to commit changes to, wait, no, never mind. So let's go, we go to command insert link, and in here we want like to kill this part moving behavior. Part moving equals false, except the part moving and move. So everything like this we are going to kill it. Reject. Well, let's start at the beginning, right? And we're just going to kill it as we see. So let's remove that, and then let's remove that, and then if part moving, saying dismiss part, reject. What? Well, let's not overthink it. If I've done that, it's probably because it was needed. On item click, so and move, and then we continue. So everywhere we are doing this part moving, initialize move. Well, this wall function needs to go, I mean. Yeah, let's kill it. Let's remove this comment. And move, well, and move also needs to go. And so we are losing all the callback. Well, I'm just killing everything here. I'm removing move mouse, I'm removing click mouse, I'm removing keyboard event. Well, that's just great. I'm killing half of the tool. That's just fantastic. Move mouse, and I'm killing that as well. Well, oh, that's going to be tricky. That's going to be tricky because I'm adding the callback when the oh. Well, let's see what we can do. We are going to remove that, and then we are going to transaction, total transaction. Even dismiss part is going to go away, I think. event filter if part moving. So yeah, iterate through the insert stack in reverse. If part moving, so we remove if part moving, and so all of that we remove it because it's about part moving also. We are just killing everything. This is ridiculous. So oh god. So now, because yes, so you see the situation is that inside this tool there is a movement and behavior that is defined, but inside view provider assembly.cpp there is also a movement, like an object movement behavior that is defined when you click on something and you move it. So the reason is that the view provider came after the insert tool. So in the insert I basically first made the insert tool cool like this, you could position things and so on, and after that I killed it. Well, no, I just re-implemented it in view provider, I guess. So now it's not really necessary to have this behavior here, and so that's why we are removing it. And the thing is that it appears that there may be some stuff because where am I? Let's close that. Let's close that. Because init move, we don't need init move anymore. And the problem with that is that check the current document had been saved. Selected part. Yeah, okay. If not, so on item clicked. Start moving the part if user bring mouse. Well, so this is what we remove as well. Init move is gone, right? And end move should be gone from everywhere. Click mouse. Yeah, of course, in click mouse it's not gone. And move, and move, and move, and move, and move. Handle first insertion. What? What is that? Do you want to ground the first? Oh yes, do you want to ground the first insertion automatically? If fix part and move. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, we need to remove them all. Okay, and so now move mouse we are removing it. And now the question is in click mouse, because it appears that if shift is down. Oh, right. The idea was that you can click on this, for example, and if you want to add more than one, you hold shift and you click, 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 click. So that's behavior. That behavior is kind of nice. That behavior is kind of nice, but if we don't have like this behavior anymore, then it doesn't make much sense. It doesn't make much sense, I guess. Because let's say it adds the thing here, and then it would make sense to hold shift and click and add another one here, here, here. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Maybe it's not very... Yeah, because some people told me it's confusing that when you're doing something and then the part follows, and then you want to click on OK, but if you have not positioned the part and you click on OK, then the part does not disappear. Well, that's surprising. Well, that's also surprising. What? I cannot cancel the insertion. So, well, that's something else to look at. So anyway, I think I will kill this whole behavior for now at least, and because it's not such an important feature. Why am I doing why am I doing that? Why have I put this? I can just put that here like this. It's maybe simpler, huh? So there we go, killed it. Killed it. It's not going to complain anymore. Let's see what happens. Double click here, that's still working, okay. Double click is still working, that's fine. We have to remove the comments. Let's remove the comments right now because I'm going to forget about those. Okay, remove this, remove that, remove that, remove that, remove that. I think that's about it. Let's see, and okay, so let's keep going. Let's see. So now I add this. So it's not following the mouse anymore. That's okay, and I can rotate it if I want. So that's nice. That's nice. And maybe I add something else. Yeah, I think that's nice like this, right? And you can move it, and you can still drag things around when you clear the selection and click, because that's how... What? Why is it not clearing? Because that's how, like... Yeah, I think the behavior like this is better. So you cannot add more than one, but you can click several times to add more than one. So that's already something, and then you can move them, right? So it's not a big loss, I think, and it behaves better, and because you can rotate things and so on. Okay, so I think we are done. I think we are done here. So that's very nice. We are going to make the commits. So I go to Git GUI. So to open, yeah, because I'm still supposed to explain you stuff, right? So you go to the source folder of FreeCAD. Here, so I'm on Windows and I'm using Git UI a lot because I think it's simple and you have a UI. So you click on here, Git UI here, and that opens you a dialog, right? Repository has loose object. Do you want? Yeah, sure. Let's compress stuff. Not sure what that means, but so this is Git UI. So now I have two Git UI. I can close this one. Okay. And so in here, it shows what modification I have done. You see, unstaged changes. So these are the changes that have been done, but are not saved, right? So I'm going to select these two changes to view provider assembly. And I'm going to click on commit, stage to commit. So this is basically doing a git add, well, but now it's in this box and I like it because it's visual. And so here I can just put a name for my commit, and it's going to be assembly how can we call that? Add dragger, no, enable dragger when solid is selected. Now that's nice, that's nice. And we can even tag the issue that we are solving, which is this one. So fixes hashtag this, and GitHub will understand that it is fixing this issue, I think. Okay, and then okay, so you see here it told me something, and if I click on rescan, then you see it made some changes automatically. So this is the pre-commit program that is fixing the syntax. But look at that, how awesome is fixing this syntax like this, splitting it in 3 lines. Well, that's really great, I guess. I don't really like this pre-commit. Well, it depends. I like pre-commit because it fixes the syntax, but I don't like that it splits the lines, because often it ends up looking very bad. So stage to commit, so we have the changes here now, and so now we can commit again, and so that should be okay. And then we have these changes to insert link, so we are going to call that assembly insert link kill mouse following kill behavior of parts following mouse. Okay, so it's the same, it's doing some formatting, saying, yeah, that's not how it should be, you should do something like that, look how important that is. So anyway, stage commit. And then I click on push, I select the branch, so the answer branch, because I'm working at answer, of course, and then assemble and push, right? That's going to be okay. Up, close, and so I go to GitHub. So this is my development branch. So I update it, and I will see 30 commits. I think it's already updated. Assembly kill the behavior, blah blah blah. And so last thing I want to do is to also notify that I'm fixing this bug here. So I select that, and in the description I will change that as well. I will put fixes blah blah update comment, and this way GitHub knows that it's fixing this issue, so when this PR gets merged, this issue will be closed automatically. So that's it. So we've done this this feature, this bug. Well, I don't know if it's a bug, but no, it's more a feature request really. Together, and I hope you learned something, and if you did, well, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments so that I know it's useless or useful, and I know if I should do more in the future. So yeah, have a nice day, bye bye.